Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. Today we have one more set of 3 excellent stories. So I hope you're ready for another round of crazy people. And let's start with our first story. I got mistaken for a Walmart employee at self-checkout. Crazy lady is CL, actual employee is AE, me is me. I apparently chose the wrong day to go to Walmart after work. Before I start, let me explain why there was nowhere this should have happened. I work in a kitchen. I was wearing black jeans with holes, a gray shirt with the name and logo of my job on it, steel-toed boots, a hat with a monster logo on it, and my ponytail sticking out with a black sweater. My shirt and my pants were also dirty and had some food spilled on them, from working in a kitchen all day. So I get off work around 9 o'clock and decided that I didn't want to cook when I got home. I also didn't want to order food from my job. I eat there too much. It just wasn't in the mood for it. So I made the grave mistake of going to Walmart. I went and picked out something that I could just throw in the oven when I got home so I could clean up while it cooked. It was 9:30, 20-minute drive from Walmart to my job by the time I got to the self-checkout. I scanned my food and put it in the bag, but as I was doing so, someone stood in line behind me. No big deal, they're just waiting for their turn. Nope, apparently this lady thought that I was an employee. As I began to walk away, she began to shout at me. My memory of the interaction may not be perfect. I was tired and very hungry. CL. Hey, where are you going? Me. Huh? CL. Aren't you going to scan my stuff? Me. Why would I do that? At this point, I'm super confused and haven't quite figured out what was happening. CL. Because it's your job. Me. No, it's not. I don't work here. I thought, more hoped, that was the end of it, so I turned to walk away. CL. Liar. I watched you scan that. Then she pointed to the bag holding my food. Me. Lady, this is the self-checkout. You scan and bag your own stuff. CL. No, I don't work here. I won't do your job for you. Stop being lazy and do your damn job. Me, visibly upset now. Look, lady, I don't work here. I did, however, just get off my actual job, and now I want to go home and eat, so leave me the hell alone. I again turned to walk away, but this lady wasn't having it. She shoved her cart forward at me, which did hit me, but didn't hurt me. At this point, my temper got the best of me, and I shoved it right back at her. By the way, I'm a 17-year-old female in high school, and I do tend to lose my temper quite easy. The cart didn't hit her, but hit the machine and made a super loud noise. This is when AE makes his glorious appearance into our story. As he approached, she was screaming something at me. I have no clue what. AE. Excuse me, ladies, what's going on here? CL. Your lazy employee is refusing to do her job. AE just kind of looked at me, then looked at her. AE was wearing a blue shirt and yellow vest. I clearly was not. AE also knows me because I'm in there more than I'd like to admit sometimes. AE. She doesn't work here, ma'am. What is it you need help with? CL. She does too. I watched her scan that. Then again, she pointed at my food. AE. This is a self-checkout, ma'am. That's what you do here. What is it that you're needing help with? CL. I just need my damn stuff scanned. AE, now realizing what the lady wanted, ma'am, this is the self-checkout. You have to do it yourself. At this point, I felt I was no longer needed, so I tried for the 3rd time to turn and leave. I did hear her shout something at me, but I didn't care to listen to what she said. I don't know what happened after I left, obviously, but good God, some people. It was a fairly short interaction, but still an annoying one. Start scanning everything. Twice. Then about halfway through, grab your bag and walk out. And our second story. The day I gave my 4-week notice. LMAO. I don't even know how to begin this story, so I guess with a little background info. I'd been working at a supermarket for a couple of years to earn some money while studying, but the managers were horrible. Especially one guy. He was a bit younger than me, but he's a big kiss butt and got promoted to a higher function. He's the reason I left the job. So now on to the actual story. I came to the store on a Wednesday morning to hand in my 4 weeks notice, but when I got there, my colleague was working the checkouts and the customer service by herself. The manager was handling the safe, so she couldn't come and help, and we had to wait for another colleague to finish the unloading of the truck, so me, being a great colleague, helped the only customer at the customer service to make sure she didn't have to wait for at least 10 minutes to get a pack of cigarettes. And just when I closed the customer service, Karen came around the corner. Now, customer service does have a little checkout for people with baskets, which Karen had, however, it was closed. And since I was off the clock and had an appointment later that morning, I was not going to open that checkout for her. Mind you, I'd been chatting with the other customer for a while, and around 10 minutes had gone by at that point. Since I was in my raincoat, which is not even close to work attire, I thought she'd understand the circumstances given the huge line at the other checkout. Okay, on to the actual conversation. Me is me, obviously, K is Karen, NL is nice lady, and M is manager. K puts the closed sign in the magazine rack, opens up the exit, and puts her stuff on the counter, basically opens up the checkout herself. Me. Oh, I'm sorry, miss, this register's closed since I'm off the clock. My colleague asked me to help this lady real quick since no one else could help at the time. There should be someone here in 2 minutes max to help you out. K. How dare you? I'm a loyal customer and you cannot treat me like this. I'm a widow and have to do everything by myself. You're going to help me right now and I will not take no for an answer. I've always worked for my boss without getting paid. M. Miss, if I may ask, what's the problem here? K. She won't help me. And L. This nice girl just helped me get some cigarettes since your colleague asked her to help me out, so I didn't have to wait another 15 minutes. Me. That's right, the checkout was closed since I'm off the clock and only here to give you my 4 weeks' notice. She knew about it, it wasn't a surprise. M. Well, miss, I'm sorry she couldn't help you, but I'm here now so I can help you. K. You need to get your workers under control. This little bee shouldn't have treated me like this. I'm a loyal customer. And L. Miss, she's off the clock and the manager's checking you out right now. Can't you be a little nicer to this young lady? K. Do not mess with me, you dumb bee, and don't get involved. I'll make your life miserable. M. Miss, please stop insulting my coworker and the lady here. They did nothing wrong. If you say one more bad thing, I will not help you any further and you can leave without your groceries. The customer left without saying anything else to the manager. Nice lady and I had a great laugh afterwards. Another fun fact, this woman has been a Karen for at least 15 years. My parents have a hedge in their back garden which was always maintained by my granddad. Apparently Karen lives in the same neighborhood and stopped by to ask my mom about the electric hedge trimmer and if my mom could trim her hedge. When my mom told her it was being maintained by her father-in-law, she called her a lying bee and also told the story of her deceased husband and how she can't do it herself. However, she had a daughter who was perfectly able to trim the hedge at the time. Her daughter had a stroke recently and is partially paralyzed, but there wasn't anything wrong with her before that. I know this because she was also a loyal customer and was the nicest, most active customer I had. And I ran into her last week. She gave me the dirtiest look I've ever gotten. It was hilarious. I am a widow. Did she expect you to congratulate her husband on his escape? And our third story. I'm not interviewing. I work here. I never knew these subs existed, so I'm glad to know I have a place to share my experiences. A few years ago, I worked for a company for over 5 years as a database administrator, DBA, and team lead for the database group. Over the previous year, I'd been working remotely, so a few of the newer hires on the other teams in IT didn't know me by sight. We recently needed to hire a few more developers for the web team. I'd made it known to the management team that we needed more developers with SQL experience, so the decision was made that I would sit in on the interviews rather than the others on my team. The day for the interview comes around and I'm in my office. I print out the resume for today's contestants. I'm the first to show up at the conference room with printouts in hand and have a seat. About 2 minutes later, a junior web developer and a business analyst walk in. Since I've never met them before, I stood up to shake their hands and introduce myself. Before I could say who I am, they start in. The cast. BA, business analyst. Dev is junior web developer. Me is me. BA. Little underdressed for an interview. Me. Huh? I'm in blue jeans and a polo. Normal attire for the office. Dev. That's okay. You have copies of your resume? Me. Yeah, I have the one. Not catching on yet. BA. Wow. You people are never prepared. Me. Excuse me? BA. How do you expect to get hired if you dress like that and don't bring copies of your resume? Me. I think I see the problem. Dev cuts me off. I think you are the problem. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to ask you to leave. We're canceling your interview. My mouth drops open. Me. Holding up my work ID. Do you know what this is? BA and Dev, mouths fall open. All they could say was, Yeah, that's right. I work here. Now that I have your attention, like I was trying to say, I'm the DBA. I've worked here for 5 years. I know we've never met, but if this is how you treat future employees, I'll have a chat with the development manager. Dev, but I'm sorry. Can we start over, please? I do have a sick sense of humor, so I realize that I now have ammunition for years to come. About 2 minutes later, the development manager shows up with the first contestant, the actual interviewee, and the games begin. I did have a little chat with the development manager about what happened, and we had a laugh about it. Every time I had a meeting with those two, I always hold up my badge and announce that I still work here. Okay, but also, they were super rude and unprofessional, and that's an issue. Not just for you, but for any potential new hire. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you soon.